So Kim finally enters the pharmacist's shop. And honestly, the place looks like a disaster zone. Broken bottles, overturned shelves, dust everywhere. Even the Sword Emperor is shocked. And that's saying something. He openly doubts whether Kim should even drink anything made here. At the same time, the pharmacist herself is nervous. She can't believe Kim is really ordering elixirs worth 20,000 gold. Kim reassures her and even offers advance payment, which she very awkwardly accepts because she's basically on the verge of bankruptcy. But here's the important part. When she worries that Kim might be ordering drugs, she firmly refuses. No matter how much money is involved, she won't make anything immoral. That's when Kim realizes she truly deserves the title of an alchemy master. She may look weak, but her principles are solid. Now, the Sword Emperor finally speaks up and gives Kim a recipe. Not a simple one either. A terrifyingly complex elixir made from rare monster materials. Kim relays the recipe, and something interesting happens. The pharmacist immediately understands it. She analyzes the interactions, points out poison neutralization, freshness requirements, and even identifies the exact effect. At that moment, her personality completely changes. The shy, trembling woman disappears, and a true expert takes over. She's excited, focused, and fully absorbed in alchemy. The Sword Emperor realizes it too. She's not a fraud. She's the real deal. She promises to finish the elixir in 4 days, which shocks Kim because in the future, it would have taken a full year to get medicine from her. The Sword Emperor still complains, convinced she'll run away with the money, but Kim knows better. 4 days later, she personally delivers the elixirs. She didn't run. She didn't cheat. The quantity alone is absurd. 30 days worth of elixirs that would have lasted only 2 days if bought elsewhere. Then she asks Kim the real question. Why her? Kim answers honestly. Not because she's strong, not because she'll be famous one day, but because she seems like a good person. Someone who deserves to succeed. Someone who won't turn into a monster, like the Flame Emperor. She accepts those words seriously. This isn't just business anymore, it's a partnership. The very next day, Kim heads to the 3rd floor hunting grounds, carrying elixirs and a sleeping bag. He drinks the potion, and everything changes. Time slows down. Sensations explode. Every heartbeat, every drop of sweat, every movement becomes painfully clear. The elixir isn't poison, but it feels worse than one. That's when the Sword Emperor explains it. Kim is feeling aura for the first time. Aura flows through all hunters, but most never notice it. Kim does. And because of that, the Sword Emperor throws him straight into hell-level training. An orc approaches, and instead of protecting Kim, the Sword Emperor laughs. He tells Kim to fight, to suffer, to learn through pain. Because Kim isn't afraid of death, and that makes him perfect for this kind of training. Kim realizing something terrifying. His mentor isn't kind, his mentor isn't gentle, and his solo training has officially begun, and it shows just how brutal his training is going to be. Kim fights an orc while under the elixir's effect, which slows his perception of time. Because of that, even a single roar feels like it lasts almost a minute, and every sound feels painful. The world hasn't slowed down, only Kim's senses have, making everything overwhelming. The Sword Emperor keeps shouting instructions while Kim panics. He explains that orcs are strong but simple, and that if Kim can read their attack patterns, he can survive. The problem is that Kim's body can't keep up with his mind. He knows where the attack is coming from, but he's physically too slow. That's when aura becomes important. Kim tries to move aura from his heart into his legs, but nothing works properly. The Sword Emperor explains that Kim's body has no aura pathways yet, comparing it to a mountain trail instead of a proper road. Aura can only drip through in tiny amounts because Kim's body isn't trained to carry it. Thanks to pure desperation and stubbornness, Kim barely dodges the first attack. The second attack comes immediately, forcing him to push harder. This time, he forces aura into his legs, bends it instead of controlling it properly, and jumps. That jump is the breakthrough. Kim leaps upward and slices the orc's throat. It's messy, slow, and painful, but it works. The Sword Emperor yells at him not to relax, reminding him that orcs are tough. Kim pours every remaining bit of aura into his sword and brutally finishes the monster, enduring extreme pain while doing so. The victory is short-lived. Because Kim used aura without proper pathways, his body is basically half destroyed. His bones feel crushed, his veins feel like they're exploding, And the Sword Emperor casually explains that this kind of training would permanently cripple a normal hunter. Because he can regress after defeat, the Sword Emperor deliberately pushes Kim into extreme training that no ordinary hunter could survive. To make things worse, another orc appears while Kim is completely exhausted and unable to move. The Sword Emperor mocks him and encourages the outcome, saying this kind of growth will only take about 100 resets. The orc strikes Kim down, and everything goes black, when Kim wakes up in the familiar dark space where regressions occur. But this time, the Sword Emperor is there too, confused. Then something completely unexpected happens. Kim's skill activates again. Instead of copying a hunter's skill, it tries to copy the orc's skill. 2 bronze skill cards appear. Both Kim and the Sword Emperor freeze. They realize something shocking. Monsters also have skills, and that changes everything. While the Sword Emperor is still complaining non-stop, the system calmly announces that Kim can now choose a skill card. This alone confirms something insane. Kim's copy skill doesn't just work on hunters, it works on monsters too. Even the Sword Emperor is furious about this, calling it completely unfair and accusing the tower of cheating. 2 bronze-colored skill cards appear and start flying around. Kim can only see the backs of the cards, so to him, it's pure luck. But then something unexpected happens. The Sword Emperor casually reveals that he can see the front of the cards. Because he isn't bound by Kim's position in this strange space, he can freely move around and actually read the skill descriptions. This is a huge realization for Kim. It means that with the Sword Emperor around, he doesn't have to gamble blindly anymore. The Sword Emperor explains both skills, and they're awful. One skill massively boosts orc reproduction in exchange for constant side effects, and the other lets Kim speak the orc language, but comes with ridiculous quirks. Both are low rank, weird, and honestly embarrassing skills. At first, the Sword Emperor insists Kim should choose the reproduction skill, because it sounds more powerful. But Kim thinks differently. He realizes that raw power doesn't matter as much as usefulness. Being able to communicate like an orc might sound stupid, but it could be exploited in combat. While the Sword Emperor panics and tries to stop him, Kim confidently chooses the language skill. The moment he does, the system confirms the selection and sends Kim back 24 hours. When he wakes up, he's no longer in his old tiny room. He's now staying in a proper hotel provided by the Sangrian Guild, showing how much his situation has already improved. The Sword Emperor is annoyed because his prank failed, but Kim calmly checks his status window and confirms the new skill is there. Later, Kim heads back to the hunting grounds and drinks the elixir again. This time, he can immediately feel aura flowing inside him, showing real progress. When an orc approaches, Kim doesn't rush or panic. Instead, he activates his new skill and starts speaking in the orc's language. The result is incredible. The orc freezes in confusion. It can't process why its prey is suddenly talking like one of its own. That moment of hesitation is all Kim needs. With precise aura control, he slices the orc's throat cleanly and kills it without taking serious damage. The Sword Emperor explodes in rage, calling Kim a dirty cheater for abusing monster psychology instead of fighting head-on. But Kim doesn't care. The strategy works, his body holds up, and for the first time, he's killing monsters efficiently instead of dying repeatedly. After 1 week of training like this, Kim is no longer stuck on the lower floors. He has already advanced to the 5th hunting floor. That single trash monster skill completely changed his growth speed. In short, this chapter proves 3 huge things. Kim can copy monster skills, the Sword Emperor can help him choose skills intelligently, and Kim's real strength isn't brute force, it's how creatively and shamelessly he uses every advantage he gets. This chapter opens after a full week of non-stop hunting. Kim finally defeats the strongest monster he's faced so far in the 5th floor, a king goblin. It wasn't easy at all. He had to burn through 6 coins. It becomes clear that he went through this loop 5 times just to learn how to defeat it properly. Even after winning, he pauses for a moment, treating the king goblin like a worthy opponent, only for the Sword Emperor to immediately call him a deranged zombie for being sentimental over a monster corpse. By now, Kim is fully used to aura. Time still feels slow because of the elixir, but he's learned to function inside it. He even speeds up his speech by flowing aura into his tongue. When he checks the copied skill from the king goblin, it turns out to be another ridiculous low-rank skill about goblins changing how they speak to sound more dignified, completely useless. Kim clicks his tongue, and the Sword Emperor dryly remarks that humans obsess over pointless things too. Then something huge happens. a system message appears, saying Kim's existence is becoming clearer. This is the long-awaited sign of leveling up. For the first time in his life, Kim finally breaks out of permanent F rank. His hunter rank increases to E class, and his skill slots expand. Red aura flares around his body like liquid fire before fading away. The Sword Emperor explains, this isn't just a flashy effect, it's a hint. The form that appears during level up reveals the shape of a hunter's aura, which is usually tied to their deepest memories or trauma. According to the Sword Emperor, the Flame Emperor's aura was fire, shaped by destruction and burning hatred. Kim's aura looks like fire or blood, though it's still unclear which. When Kim asks about the Sword Saint's aura, the Sword Emperor casually reveals its moonlight, tied to a childhood memory of being lost in the mountains and seeing the night sky, a calm and reflective moment that shaped Marcus's entire path. With the 5th floor now feeling easy, the Sword Emperor suggests moving up to the 6th floor, but Kim shocks him by proposing something insane instead, skipping straight to the 10th floor boss, a stage humanity hasn't cleared in years. The Sword Emperor calls him arrogant, but Kim is serious. He believes his skills, aura control, and monster copy ability are enough. They make a bet. If Kim can't clear the 10th floor boss within 2 deaths, he'll call the Sword Emperor master forever. If Kim succeeds, the Sword Emperor must respectfully call him Gongjanim. On top of that, Kim demands full and honest information about the boss's skill. Provoked beyond reason, the Sword Emperor accepts. Other hunters notice Kim talking and laughing to himself, and quietly decide he's mentally unstable. Solo attempts on the 10th floor are considered an absolute death sentence, so the doorkeeper immediately refuses to let Kim pass. No one challenges that floor alone and walks away. Instead of arguing or forcing his way through, Kim calmly changes his approach. He tells a carefully constructed story, speaking softly and without hesitation, as if he has already accepted his fate. Kim claims he has lost everything. He says his girlfriend passed away a year ago, and that the Alchemy Castle recently informed him he has only a few months left to live. Rather than spending his final days lying in a hospital bed, waiting for the end, he says he wants to face a monster as a hunter until the very last moment. His voice isn't desperate or dramatic, which only makes the story feel more real. To seal the lie, Kim quietly hands the doorkeeper a pouch containing 100 gold, calling it money he has no use for anymore. He then makes one final request, that his entry not be recorded, so no one has to take responsibility for what happens next. The doorkeeper is visibly shaken. Caught between his duty and his conscience, he hesitates, weighed down by pity and guilt. In the end, unable to turn away someone who seems so resolved, the doorkeeper looks the other way and allows Kim to pass. Without looking back, Kim walks forward alone, stepping into the most dangerous floor of the tower, fully aware that once he crosses that line, there may be no return. Determined to create an even greater legend. As he opens the door, it slams shut behind him. Darkness fills the room, candles light themselves, and creepy dolls appear, laughing and choosing a game to play. They decide on hide and seek, and as Kim accepts the challenge, his aura surges and the system announces the start of the boss stage. Humanity's long uncleared nightmare begins again, and this time, Kim Gongja faces it alone. This chapter finally reveals why the 10th floor boss was considered impossible for most hunters, and why only the Flame Emperor was able to clear it. Black Dragon, the strongest guild since the tower opened, failed the 10th floor dozens of times, and their leader, the rank 2 hunter, always blamed it on bad luck. The Flame Emperor later mocked everyone by saying luck itself was a skill, but Kim now realizes that wasn't the full truth. As the boss stage begins, the entire residence instantly ignites in hellfire, a form of aura-based fire that burns everything indiscriminately. Thousands of dolls flood the building, all laughing and playing hide and seek, while only one among them is the real boss, with odds of 1 in 10,000 and a strict time limit. For most challengers, the result is the same: they are overwhelmed or forced to retreat. Kim realizes the key difference. The Hellfire's aura property is identical to the Flame Emperor's, meaning Yu Su-ha was naturally resistant to it, allowing him to calmly search until he found the real doll. Kim, on the other hand, is forced to endure the burning heat using his aura, but even then he can only survive for about a minute. Knowing he can't win yet, if Kim can't clear the 10th floor boss within 2 resets, the consequences will be permanent. Knowing this, Kim deliberately allows himself to fall in order to trigger his skill copying ability. As his aura runs out, the hellfire completely consumes him in an unimaginably painful end, proving just how merciless the stage truly is. After the reset, the story takes a darker turn. Kim enters the Netherworld, where skill cards are generated from the Hellfire Maiden boss. Among them is a terrifying S-rank Hellfire skill that allows the user to trap everything within a massive radius in inescapable flames. However, Kim notices something strange about the stage. If only one doll is real, then why are the fake dolls also immune to fire? This leads him to realize that the boss must also possess a second, opposing skill that grants fire immunity. Ignoring the Sword Emperor's frantic urging to take the flashy S-rank skill, Kim instead selects a silver A-rank skill that allows him to designate living or non-living targets as immune to fire. With this skill, the entire 10th floor gimmick collapses, because Kim can now protect himself from the hellfire and calmly search for the real doll without time pressure. Confident of victory, Kim wins the bet against the Sword Emperor and prepares to challenge the boss again after regressing. However, for the first time since leaving F rank, Kim receives a system penalty. The tower announces that due to his skill, he must now experience a trauma reenactment, specifically the enemy's trauma, labeled as a weak level extremity called Hell Road. Before Kim can even process what that means, the world turns white, signaling the beginning of a new and dangerous consequence, tied not to monsters, but to psychological scars left behind by the tower itself. This chapter continues directly from the trauma penalty and shows Kim being forced to relive the past of the Hellfire Maiden, the true boss of the 10th floor. Kim's consciousness is pulled into a vision where he can't interfere, only observe. He sees a Western-style mansion from long ago, where starving orphans beg for food. A nobleman presents himself as a benefactor running an orphanage, but in truth he is a tyrant who imprisons, starves, tortures, and brainwashes children under the excuse of educating them into humans. Priests assist him, labeling cruelty as divine discipline, while the children are chained, beaten, and forced to endure hunger until their spirits collapse. Over time, countless children perish inside the mansion. Eventually, a fire breaks out in the middle of the night. The chains melt, the mansion collapses, and the trapped children are consumed by the flames. Their resentment, hunger, and fear merge together, forming the origin of the Hellfire Maiden. When the vision ends, Kim and the Sword Emperor return to the present, both deeply shaken. The Sword Emperor argues that the past cannot be changed, and that the only way forward is to defeat the boss and continue climbing the tower, just like the Flame Emperor would have done. Kim disagrees. He realizes that Yusuha would have cleared the stage by force without caring about the meaning behind it, and Kim refuses to become the same kind of person. As Kim prepares to challenge the 10th floor again, he notices a contradiction in the Hellfire Trap skill. The skill states that no one can leave the Hellfire without the boss's permission, yet Black Dragon's hunters escaped every time they failed. This leads Kim to the true answer. The boss was letting challengers leave on purpose. The dolls were never enemies, they only wanted to play. When Kim re-enters the boss stage, the mansion ignites again, and the dolls invite him to play hide and seek. This time, Kim uses his fire immunity skill and calmly accepts the game. Instead of fighting, he gently finds each doll one by one, touching them and letting them disappear peacefully. What looks like a boss battle is actually a memorial service, allowing the trapped souls of the children to finally be acknowledged. In the basement, Kim finds the final doll, the true Hellfire Maiden, surrounded by tools of torture. Instead of attacking, he gently pats the doll's head and declares her it. The child thanks him before dissolving into fire, and the mansion's flames fade completely. The chains, tools, and traces of suffering vanish. With the trauma finally laid to rest, the tower recognizes Kim's actions. The impossible stage is cleared, including its hidden condition and bonus objective. After years of failure by humanity, the 10th floor is finally conquered, not through strength or luck, but through understanding and compassion. After the 10th floor is officially cleared, the tower announces Kim Gongja as the champion, but delays the reward until the 11th floor opens in 24 hours. Even though Kim just accomplished something that no one else in the world could, he doesn't feel pure joy. Instead, he feels conflicted and hollow after witnessing the trauma behind the boss stage. The Sword Emperor teases him for looking gloomy, but Kim explains that seeing the truth behind the tower made him realize how cruel the world really is, no matter which world it is. Surprisingly, the Sword Emperor genuinely compliments Kim for the first time, acknowledging that Kim didn't rely on luck or brute force this time, but solved the stage using his own judgment and empathy. This praise feels unsettling because it's rare and sincere. Before Kim can dwell on it, a massive announcement echoes across the sky, declaring to the entire world that the 10th floor has been cleared and that the 11th floor will open soon. Fireworks explode across every floor of the tower, transforming into a massive countdown clock visible to everyone. Kim realizes he has seen this moment before, but back then, he was just a nobody watching history happen from the sidelines. This time, he is the one who made history, even though no one knows it yet. Online communities explode with confusion and speculation as guilds, high-rank hunters, and organizations are ruled out one by one, with no one claiming credit. Kim quietly enjoys the chaos, feeling for the first time what it means to stand above the world without recognition. When the guard Kim previously tricked arrives in a panic, desperately trying to confirm who cleared the floor, Kim calmly avoids answering and refuses to reveal his identity or title. He walks away, leaving the guard terrified and confused, increasing Kim's mysterious value even more. The Sword Emperor laughs and praises this move, explaining that hiding his identity will only make people chase him harder. As Kim prepares to teleport away, he realizes why the Sword Emperor suddenly started acting friendly. He reminds him of their bet. If Kim cleared the boss stage within 2 deaths, the Sword Emperor would have to address him respectfully. Kim smugly demands to be called Mr. Gongjia from now on. The Sword Emperor desperately tries to reframe their relationship as equals and partners, but Kim doesn't budge. The chapter ends with the Sword Emperor falling into despair, while Kim steps forward as an unseen legend whose story has only just begun.